Hey guys, this is Ference. Thanks for tuning in and watching. It's that time of the year again out here in New Jersey. It is deer season. We happen to have a nice young doe that we have prepared today in terms of our meat. We're going to be having some steaks. I've been trying to watch what I'm eating in terms of not eating so much meat and try to add some vegetables in there. So today we're making simple steaks with portobello mushrooms and sauteed asparagus. Basically, with the mushrooms, I just peeled off the skin just to add a little bit less texture. I know some people don't really care, but neither do I. But I was just a suggestion just to take it off and maybe add a little bit more pop to the dish, just because of the whiteness of the mushroom. And basically, I'm just getting my parsley ready, just taking apart the leaves from the stem. And of course, we want to wash our parsley. I almost forgot on this one. And just find it or chop it relatively fine, and we're just going to set that aside. With the mushrooms and the asparagus and the parsley, it's all really easy. That's the first thing I'm just going to cook, because I'm going to prepare the steak just a minute or two on each side. On the steaks, I'm just going to do some salt and a little bit extra pepper, just because why not? I'm trying to cut back on my salt intake. However, that doesn't really help since we're going to be cooking it in bacon fat. So I'm basically just going to get my pan ready and throw in 2 pieces of bacon just so that I can get them cooking and get the oil back into the pan. And that is what we're going to cook our venison in. In terms of how we're going to saute the vegetables, we're going to throw in a little bit of butter and going to add the asparagus as well as the mushrooms. The asparagus needs to cook a little bit longer just because it has a little bit more starch than the mushrooms. So the first thing I start with is the asparagus. Add a little bit of sprinkle of vegeta in there. Then I'm going to put in the mushrooms on a lower heat just because the mushrooms are a little bit more sensitive and I don't want them to be overcooked. So basically I'm just trying to get the bacon or fat all around the pan just so we get the good flavor when we get our meat going. And we just take our time with the vegetables. I'm just cooking them on low to medium low. And so finally I got the oil I want out of the bacon. So I'm just going to put my main pan to the back, just waiting for the vegetables to do what they got to do. And when the mushrooms are nice and tender, I'm just going to move that to the back burner after I add a little bit of salt and pepper just at the very end, a little bit of extra vegeta for the asparagus, and then I'm going to add the parsley to the mushrooms as soon as the mushrooms are done. And I kill the heat. The parsley is going to just saute with everything together. There's still heat in the pan, so we're good on that. So basically, like I mentioned, with the fat of the bacon, we get that nice and hot. I'm going to cook this on high heat. I want this medium rare, and I am just going to cook the steak maybe a minute to 2 minutes on each side. As soon as I start to see blood coming out through the other end, I flip it. So we put in the meat. It looks, smells, and sounds great. And I'll put the bacon back inside just to continue cooking it, just because when I originally did that, it didn't fully cook all the way through. The meat's getting its color pretty quickly. Like, these steaks are not even a half of an inch thick, so I was going light on it today. And I'm just keeping an eye on the steak just for the blood to start coming out. I put it in a plate, which was what the microwave was for 2 minutes and 50 seconds, just so I put the meat back onto a hot plate. And just making sure that the meat is just not overcooking. Like I said, I want to do this medium rare. I don't want to waste a steak by overcooking it. So out comes the plate, and the first steak I know is done. And as you can see on the other one, just that little bit of blood is still just trying to come out the other end. So for me, that's when I get my signal. All right, we want to get that off. You see what I mean? Boom. So from there, everything else is done. The vegetables are done. The meat's plated. And I'm just going to go ahead and make it look good. I take a lot of the pictures of the food that I eat. So that being said, You actually guys can add me on Instagram. It's going to come up on the video in just 2 seconds what you can add me on as well. I'll put that in the description. And I'll put a little bit of parsley on top just to make it look good. I added the bacon back on top. And at the end of the day, guys, as much as I enjoy cooking it, I like plating it and of course eating it. You guys can add me on Instagram, fantasize and maximize. Guys, I really appreciate you tuning into the video. I hope you try out this recipe. It not only is it delicious, I believe it's healthful. It's a lot of vegetables, a lot of good food. Have a great day, guys. Thanks.